What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Boutique podcast. My name is JS. Over here is my compadre, my co-host, the Viltrumite himself, Aka. Messiah Complex Cosplay. How's it going, Jeff?
Oh, I had to shave my mustache off from Saturday, as you can see. It was just absolutely glorious. I'm well. I'm
all day.
Do you know how many people asked me if it was real? I had so many guys. I should show you the package that it came in. I had so many. Oh, they're like, "Is that real?" I'm like, "You motherfucker saw me yesterday as the Joker with no mustache. What do you think I am? Some hirsute genetic freak that I could just grow this giant J. Jonah Jameson dark black mustache on my face the very next day? No, it wasn't real. It was the cheapest pack of mustaches on Amazon that I could find. I paid $7.99, and it came with like 20 mustaches, and that one was the closest. It was called, by the way, the Bandito, was the mustache that I had on my face.
Okay. Bandito.
That was the Bandito. Anyway, sorry. I'm still tired. I'm not terribly. I thought it would be.
All right. The chat's got to be loving this already.
I thought I would be a lot more sore than I am. I'm not. Yeah, it was something, man. It was a weekend.
We're gonna talk about the weekend.
We need to talk about it
today. We need to talk about it because a lot of stuff happened. A lot of dancing happened. A great party happened. Some theft happened. A lot of drama.
Yeah, I do want. I want to talk about the theft thing because I think there's a slight misunderstanding amongst the community as to how that's being handled or where.
Want us to talk about that. Yeah. And maybe that's where we should start. Actually, before we go and start, first of all, Andrew is asking so many technical difficulties. There were no technical difficulties. Yeah, pretty much. Instagram's been a pain in the ass lately. I was going to go live, and then I went looking for my stupid thing to hook up my microphone, and then by the time we were all said and done, it was like, screw it, let's just go live. So sorry, Andrew. No, there was no technical difficulties tonight. If you are watching us here on YouTube live, or if you're not live, if you're watching us after the fact, make sure you click that like button. It really, really helps us out. The subscribe button is great as well. It's completely free. If you click the notification bell, it'll let you know anytime we go live or anytime we upload a new video. Like Jeff's latest PSA, everything you guys need to know if you're going to be cosplaying Spider-Man, which is a very, very, very different video than the Zentai suit video, even though they're closely related. So go check it out if you haven't already.
It's a bit of a follow-up.
There
are some specifics to cosplaying Spider-Man that don't really exist with some of the other cosplays, so we just wanted to go over a couple of those. So that's that. And it's, by the way, like I said, I'm keeping them shorter. I think that one's like 8 minutes, so you're in and out. You learn some important information you need to know about cosplaying Spider-Man. Brian360, hello all. A huge thank you to everyone who tolerated me and my camera last weekend, especially to the geeks who made the con so much better than it would have been.
Oh, thanks for coming,
without
man.
them. Brian, you were amazing having your camera work there. We always seem to be able to get a lot of still frame pictures. We very, very rarely get any video. So having you there and having you do your video and being able to go to YouTube and see that stuff, fantastic. So thank you for coming out. That's pretty great. Andre saying, so you need to watch that one and do Spider-Verse Miles at some point. Yeah, actually, I think I referenced Miles specifically as far as how you would go about doing that in particular over and above getting the Zentai suit. So, why don't we start with the theft thing? I think we should get the negative shit out of the way first, and then we can move into all the positives, because there were so many positives for us over the weekend.
Well, actually, no. The first thing we do need to talk about is one of the questions here. How are you feeling? Have you recovered? Are you still tired? Are you hurting? How are you doing?
I've got no. I'm actually amazingly fine. I went to work Monday morning for my 4 a.m. shift.
So did I. Well, not 4 a.m.
So
but, yeah.
I thought you had Monday. Didn't you book Monday off? I thought for sure you told me you booked Monday off.
You know, I had booked it off, and then I thought I didn't, and then it turns out that I did, but my boss hadn't approved it, or my boss hadn't seen it. Listen, when I looked it up in the system, it wasn't there, so I was like, fuck, I gotta work. I didn't actually book the day off, so I worked the day. Meanwhile, I could have just taken it off. So whatever. Listen, it's not that big of a deal. I'm
Canadian Podcast Awards got sick, sore throat. There's usually some folks that get hit with the con plague. Yeah. I didn't have any of that. I had some light bruising from where some of the costumes were kind of pinching me or whatever. But other than that, I think everything was, and I have this cut on my forehead. This is from the Stormtrooper helmet. It has to, when you put the helmet on, it's the stunt helmet. It has to get turned. You have to put it on sideways and then turn it on your head. And I think at one point it caught something on my forehead and nicked me or whatever. Ouch. So, yeah. Hey, man, we suffer for the art. It was worth it. That Stormtrooper was. We'll talk about that. Apologies for the quality of the DC video. I haven't seen it yet. Hoping the Star Wars meetup will be better. The cosplay compilation will be out tomorrow. Okay, there are so many people I missed. Apologies if you're one. There's always, there's thousands and thousands. Fan Expo put out a video. Our booth is there. Blah, blah, blah. Listen. This must be John. Is it John or Jan? That's the Canadian Podcast Awards. Is the cut 501st approved? Yours sounded just as bad as this one over here on the live podcast. Here's Jeff and his 501st approved. Yeah.
We need to get Jeff a 501st card. Dean, you should make that happen.
It's never happening. By the way, I would again, please let me clarify. It is John. Yes, it is. I want to make sure that we understand each other. I love almost everyone that I've ever met in the 501st, the Rebel Legion, the Mandalorian Mercs. I love the individual people that are involved in the organization. My issues are with the organization itself, not with the people in the organization. Please understand. That's why I will never be joining, but that's why I still love hanging out with and doing stuff with people that are involved in that, which we found out on Sunday. We had a bunch of the 501st Rebel Legion people join us for
that was awesome.
Star Wars shit.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, but we'll talk about that. But yeah, do you mind if we start with a negative thing? I think we should probably get it out of the way so it's not like a fucking giant bummer.
Yeah, I think we should. You know what? Go ahead. There's a couple things that I think.
The big thing was stolen phones. And apparently there were over 100 phones reported stolen from the venue at the time. And right now, for sure, if you go on any of the socials, you're going to see Fan Expo is definitely being taken to task for it. I guess the only thing I'm a little. By the way, if you're one of the people that had a phone stolen, or you know someone that had their phone stolen, I don't know about you. My whole life is on my phone. Like if my phone was stolen, it would be a tragedy. So for anyone that's happened to, or if you know someone that's happened to, that sucks. I'm sorry that someone felt that they could do that to you and that was okay. I'm a little concerned as to where the vitriol and the anger is going. Like I know the volunteers that are at the event are there on behalf of Fan Expo. Like Fan Expo has their volunteer stuff, but I thought security was actually handled by the venue.
It is.
So I'm a little bit confused why the entire community is just lashing Fan Expo over it when at the end of the day, they should be going after the Metrotronic Convention Center
100%.
And their staff instead. Well, no one's doing that.
Yeah.
Literally no one's doing that. They're taking they're like, Fan Expo, so many of them are so militant. They're like, I'm never going to let you guys forget this. I'm never going to let you guys live this down. I'm never going to let you guys, because Fan Expo didn't have a lot to respond to it. They just said, like, hold on to your goods and be careful, because they're not running security. The venue's running the security. So guys, if you are someone or you know somebody that's concerned about this, have them talk to the MTCC. Right, okay. Expo security is mostly for celebs and stuff like that. MTCC has their security and Expo has their own. Everybody that I saw that had a shirt on that said security on the back said MTCC on the front, not Fan Expo. They were clearly there employed by, MTC is the general security. So my suggestion to you guys is if you've been affected by this or you know somebody that has, that's who you probably not going after, but that's who that you should be aimed at, not necessarily at Fan Expo themselves.
Yeah, and I also want to point out that again, like you say, if you got your phone stolen, I mean that really, really, really sucks. But you have to think about we're talking about a con that had probably upwards of 80,000 people over the weekend.
Probably, yeah.
Right, and with 100 stolen phones, so everybody's asking, did you get your stolen phone? Did you get your phone stolen? Right. No. Like, it was a very small amount of people at the con that got their phones stolen. It's likely that one or two people or a small network of people working together that stole all those phones.
100%.
But how do you stop that? Like, they're professionals, right? Like, these are pickpockets. Like, what's security supposed to do about something like that? I feel like for some, if you're going to be walking around the con like this all weekend and you put your phone down on a counter so that you can look at something, you know what? Your phone's going to go missing. I'm sorry. Yeah,
no, agree. And Andrew Saxon said, to be noted, there were then also police officers added to
on the
patrol
Sunday.
the Colon floor
Correct.
on Sunday. Right.
Correct.
Which, that's what that place.
There's another question. Why are there not police officers at the con all weekend? There is at Fan Expo.
Yeah, I don't know.
So why is there not a Comic-Con?
I don't know what the logistics of that would look like. I don't know what they have to do to the city to. Most of the phones still are apparently were in artist alley vendors, which means someone behind the tables or someone visiting all the tables saw the opportunities to take them. Yes, I did see a lot of them were stolen out of vendor booths, is what it seemed to be, a lot of them anyways. Yeah, guys, no, at the end of the day, it sucks. And I mean, I'm sure that MTCC security could, I mean, when I did see the MTCC security guys, a lot of them were standing around. I mean, it's hard. Security is mostly standing around. But I mean, I don't know, like JS was saying, like, what do you actively do to try to prevent that? I mean, if someone's going to be there or a team of people are going to be there and they're going to be a piece of shit and they're going to steal people's stuff, it's going to be really hard to prevent that or really hard to
like
prosecute. Like,
you can't search people's bags on the way out. Like, people are literally there to shop, right? Like, what are you going to do? Like, hold 80,000 people in a building hostage while you sift through their bags to let them out? Like, you can't
find out if it's somebody else's phone. And how would you even know it was somebody else's phone unless it's been reported? And all that I don't know, man.
It's tough. It's really tough.
I brought some issues to the security officers and they didn't give a fuck, like, at all. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's a giant event. There's so many people there. It would be difficult to know what to do and what not to do. What if they didn't allow people behind the booths to begin with? Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's especially for us. Now, mind you, we were like there were bathrooms behind us, so I mean, I guess at the end of the day, they kind of have to. But the Canadian Podcast Award saying would love it if they didn't allow people behind the booths to begin with. I agree.
No, I mean, that's a good point. Although to what Matt is saying, like, if you see something happening, if you witness something or an issue or something being inappropriate or whatnot, and you go to security and security doesn't do anything, that's another problem completely. Like, that's a real problem with security. The phone thing, I just don't.
It's hard to combat. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you like. I'm not a security person, a professional, right? So I don't know. Maybe there are things you can do, but you know, I mean, in a big crowd like that, like,
moving
a lot
forward,
of people are saying, "Oh, well, don't let so many people in." But even if you don't,
that's not going to stop.
People congregate in areas, right? Like, look at, you were walking through the con and one area was completely dead, and then you turn the corner and it's, you know, a sea of people, right?
Yeah,
so
there was no way, especially on Sunday. Friday and Sunday. Saturday actually wasn't that bad, but Friday and Sunday were bonkers.
Sunday was, I'm pretty sure Sunday was the busiest day. I'd be interested in seeing attendance numbers. Pretty sure Sunday was the busiest day of the weekend.
Wayne, we're going to get there. We're just getting rid of some of the negative stuff that happened first, so we can then spend the rest of the podcast talking about all the positive, great things that happened. So, but yeah, we are going to, obviously, we'll talk about the after party. We'll talk about the photo meetups. We'll talk about all the good stuff. Actually, I think we've pretty much beat this one to death.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people complaining on the all of the Fan Expo social media about all sorts of stuff. It's like they're just getting friggin' ripped into right now. Which for some stuff I get, for some other stuff I don't think it's necessarily fair.
As John said,
because from my point of view,
students, they don't really have an incentive to care.
No, and that's fair.
And this is our friend Stephanie for Redmond Glassworks. She was there as a vendor. Sunday did pick up from Saturday. Yeah, you just had to walk around the place and realize how much busier it was on Sunday. So.
Yeah,
Dean saying the two security at the entrance were so nice, so that's good. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them were nice. Yeah, and I think for the most of us, we did have a good time. Nada is saying accessibility was a nightmare. I hate to say it, like I hate to be that. I don't want to be that person. Accessibility at that venue is always a nightmare. It's been from the jump. It's been every Fan Expo and Toronto Comic Con. I'm not saying if you need accessibility, don't go, because obviously go and have a good time, but you're going to struggle with accessibility at that venue. It just sucks. It just sucks. It's not good, and they should improve it. And I'm sure you could probably put some feedback up to them to prove it, but it's always been fucking terrible. Unfortunately, it's just one of the things that we all just kind of be like, well, what are we going to do?
I will say this: it does. For me, the layout that they had this year is probably the best layout they've had in a long time. Yeah, I know. I read Freakish. Yeah.
I think Freakish had a stroke while he was there.
Freakish is...
Con is a public risk material, viral, virus, etc. By going, you do accept some of the accountability and responsibility.
Kabikity.
Responsability, baby. That's my new term.
We understood, you know what? And yes, Noah's. I mean, that's the way I see it now. Are some things out of line? Of course, certain things are out of line, or but I don't know.
Take responsibility for your actions.
I do remember this pre-COVID when you went to Fan Expo. There was at least 1 year where you had to walk through metal detectors and they would search bags and
I don't know about metal detectors, but they were definitely searching bags 100%.
Oh yeah, I remember for sure one time having to go through metal detectors the same way that when you go to the Sky Dome to go to a baseball game, you have to walk through the metal detector and they
same
check
with
your
the hockey
bag
game here in London. Yeah.
Yeah. So why they don't do at the very least that type of stuff at the con, I don't know.
Are they not inspecting bags coming in anymore?
Not really.
I mean, we're vendors, so we wouldn't know. So for anybody that had just a regular ticket, were they not looking?
They are.
Were they not checking bags on the way in? Because they've always done that. Yeah, I don't know. I had a vendor pass, so I didn't. It was super lax, is what Meg Han is saying. So
there you go.
I mean, yeah.
So just prop check, says Dean.
I don't remember metal detectors. Yeah, I don't remember metal detectors either, but just prop check. So if you came in with a fucking duffel bag, you could just walk right in and no one's checking your shit. They take a quick peek, but not really, says Andrew. Barely, says my kill. They had 2 lines at the entrance to check bags, is what John is saying. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, like, again, so going back to, like, checking bags wouldn't have stopped these people from stealing phones on their way in, obviously. Like, I barely opened my bag and they were like, good enough. Yeah, I'm sure their job is to get as many people in as 100%. They possibly can. And get as many people to, because you've got to get people in and out, right, to be able to have more and more people come in. And as we talked about, Sunday was mental, but my big blue wheelie cart never gets searched. Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably going to find, guys, that a lot of it's reactionary. So now that they've had all this big huge theft thing happen, they're probably going to get a little bit tougher on booth security, in particular, security at the particular booths. But until someone brings something in that is hazardous or dangerous or whatever, the bag check is probably going to get less and less. Like, it's all reactionary, right? Like, it's going to be less and less. The prop check went up huge after 9/11 and after there were a bunch of incidents in the States. So the prop check up here got really intense for a while. That started to lean back a little bit. They're not as bad as they used to be. And then the bag check used to be really like rifling through your shit, and then they're just like, eh. So yeah, it is a bit reactionary, right?
And like John is saying here,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not.
What does bag check really do for stealing anyways?
It's all theater. No, really. It's absolutely all theater. Until there's an incident. And then it'll be, you guys weren't checking this enough and whatever, right? And then they'll ramp it up again. And then they'll slowly get lazy and lax again. And it will come. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, I'll say this, guys. If you're going into a big event, it doesn't matter if it's a sporting event, a convention, any big giant event where you've got tens of thousands of people gathering, watch out for yourself.
You're taking on
you need to look after yourself. Yeah, because you don't know what kind of fucking crazies are going to be in there.
No, man.
You don't know if Jeff is going to come up from behind you and just fucking grab you.
You got to have some personal responsibility. That's just what you have to do.
You do. And it sucks because
it's never going away.
It's never going to go away.
It's never going away.
It sucks forever. Because these events are family events, right? People like to bring their kids, although I didn't see a ton of kids. I saw like teenagers, like older teenagers, but I didn't see a whole lot of younger kids this weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
You see some, but not like you usually do.
Well, so let's kind of use this as sort of transition. I think we've spent 20 minutes down like talking about all the negative shit. So let's maybe try to bring this back up. Where we were located, I feel like there's probably, even though it was only the North Building for this. And by the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, it's in the North Building again next year. So it's just going to be in the North. I think where we were located in sort of like the upper right back corner with our lovely booth mates, the Canadian Podcast Awards over there. I think there was probably a portion of the con that we just never saw, right? I think there was probably a healthy 10 to 15 to 20, maybe even 25% of the people that just never got all the way back.
That's very possible, yeah.
Into the community area. But I think once they were in there, I definitely saw more kids on the Sunday than I saw on the Friday or the Saturday, for sure. And having the Rebel Legion and the 501st, the Mando Mercs, and the Doctor Who Society, like these big, huge display-like friendly booths, having them right in front of us there definitely helps, I think, to bring some of the younger crowd over.
100%.
So that definitely, but at the end of the day, it kind of depends, I think, probably on what your goal is as you come in. If you're coming in to have a shop specifically, or you're coming in to do, responsibility. Yeah, it's 100%. It's never going away. Responsibility. Like, I don't even know.
Hashtag
responsibility. Like, are you using your elbows to type on the key? I don't even know what you're doing. It's terrible what you're doing there. The poor Ghostbusters. But I will say that, so we got very fortunate, and JS mentioned this too, we were doing the lives, how they handled the community this year. The community booth this year was a lot better, even though I did notice quite a few booths that maybe not quite a few, but booths that we're normally used to seeing were not there, or booths that we had seen for Fan Expo were not there. Like the 405th, whoever the Halo booth is, had a huge premium location booth at Fan Expo last year, not at Toronto Comicon at all. No Sean Ward, who's a staple at these things. Didn't see him in a community booth. And the London Steampunk Society, who again had a giant premium booth last year, had like the smallest booth available. And then the poor Ontario Ghostbusters guys with their setup was like, whoo, man, did they ever have a terrible, terrible booth space.
And I think that if Sonar Network, instead of facing towards the cosplayer, was facing towards the back like the Ghostbusters were, I think it would have made all the difference.
It would have.
When people came that way, they would have seen that there was something there, and they would have went back there.
It would have helped. That's for sure. Yeah. That's now I need to make Jeff a shirt. No, I you know what? We'll get to make Jeff a shirt, by the way, because there was
we'll talk about it
on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Collaborated saying hello in the voice of Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello. Jeff is gonna have a full line of his own shirt soon. No, he's not.
We need to start making Jeff merch. Guys, if I make Jeff merch, are you going to buy it?
No, you're not.
Please support the channel. No. Buy your Jeff merch.
Support the channel.
To your hoodie.
Don't. Fuck off, every one of you.
Soonish.
Yeah, hashtag Captain Daddy. Yeah. I do have it on, by the way, so that when we talk about it, I can show you guys what it is.
There you go.
But yeah, no, let's go. So Friday, we hit the ground running. We're DC. We've got the meetup that we're doing. We try to do a live, and the place was just too packed on Friday to be able to kind of go out and venture out. So we did a shorter live. But DC Day, I thought went really, really well. I thought all of our costumes went over very, very well. All of our cosplays. We had a shit ton of people that showed up in DC. So many Harleys. So many different Bat fan people. We had some super fan people. We've got pictures now that we're finally kind of going through that got posted to the Facebook page of all.
Are you able to bring some of those up and share them? I tried to get in, but I can't seem to, for some weird reason, log into Facebook. It just wants to log in under Jen's account, and I don't have her account. It won't let me log in under mine. I don't know why.
A moment, please.
There should also be, by the way. Okay, so let's talk about that for a quick second. I know we had said we weren't going to have a photographer helping us out for the different meetups. That being said, Jen was able to help out a lot with those. Andrew Saxon jumped in and helped out on Sunday to take some pictures for the Star Wars meetup. Jeff from North Haven Creative took a shit ton of pictures over the weekend, a shit ton of pictures at the meetups. We're going to have all of those posted on their Facebook page for you guys to download. So there's still going to be a ton of photos on the Facebook page for you guys to go check out and download. It's just now starting to come out. I'm just now starting to upload some stuff. So my stuff for day 1 and day 2 is there now. And I'm just now starting to receive some of Jeff's stuff, and I'm hoping to have day 3 of our stuff up, hopefully within the next day or so. Dean is saying armor bites kills. Ask Jeff. He has a permanent scars now. Yeah, I mean, if you're if you intend to troop as a stormtrooper or mainly a stormtrooper, I guess. I've heard some stories. You need to be ready for a little bit of pain. You need to be a little bit of a masochist if you're going to be 501st and with those stormtroopers. Are you also having? Oh my God, Freakish is saying, with great power comes great responsibility. Okay, I see a new line of T-shirts coming now.
Oh Christ! Okay, so allow. Can you see that? Okay. So
Wayne is saying, big shout out to Jeff from North Haven Creative for helping with the photos for the team up. I think we might have Wayne and Jeff on next week. I've been talking to them. They're up for it. Talk about, what your experience is when you go to a con from the perspective of, I'm going there to take some pictures.
Okay. Can you see this?
We can.
Hey, there we go. So this is sort of like as the meetup is coming together. This is the DC meetup that you're seeing here. So these are pictures that are published through the Facebook page. So we mentioned before, as Jess was just talking about, we weren't going to have an individual photographer at the booth taking thousands of pictures, and then we were going to have them all for you guys to do. But we did have somebody taking pictures of the group shots, and all the group shots are up. And as you can see, it's just a bulk upload of all. They've been tagged and they've been watermarked, but it is just they book, because these are all like essentially the same shot where some people are blinking and some people are not blinking, and some people are paint me like one of your French girls, and
And some of these, listen, the lighting down there was horrible.
Dog shit.
It was nice that there was a lot of room down there for us to do our thing. The lighting was just horrible. So,
but you are getting a sense. So this is Friday, guys. So you're getting a sense of the scope of everybody. So yeah, we're on the bottom floor.
And this is at the beginning.
I thought nobody's going to come to this. Like, there's no way anybody's even going to find us, let alone. And yet we got a sizable turnout.
If you go to the last picture in that, like 300 pictures or so, there's so many people that ended up joining. That was a massive group. That was fun. I like being able to have these big giant meetups and yeah.
I think these were all the baddies, if I'm not mistaken.
These were all
the villains, I want to say, or
these were all the bat. These are all the bat villains.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Conspicuous by his absence is the Joker, because he's too busy shouting at everybody.
And let's be honest, I think there were more bat villains than there were of anything else in that.
There always is. If you are, guys, if you are ever committing or deciding to a DC photo shoot, you have to be ready for the fact that probably 75 to 80% of that shoot is going to be full of bat people. It's just how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his family is the dominant, and the villains too. It's the dominant sort of genre in the DC stuff, right? So, hey, look, the asshole finally got in there on the.
Can we take a minute and talk about your makeup?
We can, yeah.
I mean, you looked fantastic this weekend.
Thanks, I didn't even realize that she's pointing that gun right at my head. That's so cute. That's hilarious.
Well, she is Red Hood. I think it's on purpose, but
Yeah.
298 friggin' pictures there, guys. So.
That's just the Friday meetup?
And that's just the Friday meetup.
Hilarious.
So there's a lot of pictures there, and those are the Saturday meetups, and there's 230 there.
Yeah.
So you did that makeup yourself, by the way.
I did.
I was can opener on the Dalek trying to get that little worm out of there. And then he ended up fist pumping me, so we're cool. We're cool now.
We should probably. Well, you know what?
Go check them out, guys.
Check them out. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of pictures there. There's hundreds and hundreds of pictures. If you were at one of our meetups, you're gonna see yourself in one of those pictures for sure. For me, a couple highlights of the meetups. For one, on Saturday, Dalek Axel making his way down for the meetup. That was awesome. To have a Dalek at our meetup, that was perfect. A lot of times not a lot of times, anywhere they go, it's a lot of work to get them from one floor to the next. The elevators aren't always conducive to being able to get them from one floor to the next. Now, in London, for example, they've got a big giant freight elevator that they can fit a 10-ton tractor trailer in. So the Daleks can all pile up in there and come up and down at will, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Some of these other venues, it's a little harder, right? So they only have a regular elevator, and Axel just fits. So they were able to bring him down. That was cool. Richard Bakari, guys. If you don't know who Richard is and you're local here, I don't know what you're smoking, because I mean,
midlife cosplay is what he's going by now, and his stuff is so good and so tight. I want to highlight what Dean was saying here too, like how everyone's welcomed into your photo shoot, very inclusive, and everyone from professionals to little guys and gals that make their own the week before the con love it. That's kind of the point. I've got a point to make about that a little bit later on, but. The Sunday was cool. I did like the Sunday shoot, the Star Wars shoot in particular, because a bunch of people from the 501st, the Rebel Legion, the Mandomarks, they all joined us for our
that was cool.
Not just for our shoot, but then came back at the booth and hung at the booth and was doing stuff too. So Christina was good enough to loan me her Stormtrooper, and Michael put on his Scout after I basically bullied and shamed him into doing so. But then
I'm so happy he did, because
so did I, because it looked fantastic.
Oh yeah, you guys were amazing together. We got a great video of you two together.
Weird. When the edibles kick in. Then having Christina come over in her spot-on Mandalorian, her Din Djarin is just crazy. And then, so all that's great, by the way. And people are coming through the booth and all that's awesome. And then Sean comes over in his Chewbacca, and
we shut down the con.
You couldn't get through our booth space anymore because. His Chewbacca, by the way, is just beyond reproach. Sean's such a great guy, and he knows what to do when he's in it, because I think part of him realizes that it's a 7-foot-tall, hairy beast monster, so he's got to be affable and funny and lovely, and so he's throwing his arms out and giving big he's making sure he's not coming across as what he looks like, a big giant hairy monster. He's coming across as hi, I'm the largest teddy bear you've ever seen in your life. Come give me a hug, and it works. He's setting people at ease and then bringing them in. So that was a very cool part of each individual day. I felt like had at least one key moment. We were like, this is why we're doing this. This is very cool.
Chewie, I gotta say, for me was probably the highlight of the weekend. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Sean. I don't know if you're watching, Sean, but you murdered it, son. You. By the way, he was only going to do the shoot. He was only going to be in it for about a half an hour. He said, and he's 4 hours later. He was a trooper, man. He killed it. Sorry,
that's
what were you saying?
I forget, but that was awesome. That was just so cool. Oh yeah, I remember when you pulled it out last year at Fan Expo. No, it was at Toronto Comicon. Again on Star Wars Day at Toronto Comicon. No, Toronto Comicon we did Star Trek Day. It was at Fan Expo that we did Star Wars Day. So he brought his Chewie, but he didn't come to the booth.
No, even then, I don't think it's right, because you guys have pictures of the Predators and Chewie. I don't think it was on Star Wars Day. I think it was when we were doing villains.
Oh, maybe. Either way,
he just had his Chewie, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. Either way, that was the first time I saw his Chewie, and my mind exploded. And you know what to expect, but then he shows up, and it's like, oh my god, it's fucking Chewie.
And he's making all the sounds, and it's pretty bonkers. It's pretty bonkers. And I think when I think about it, sorry, go ahead. You have something?
No, me? No, go ahead.
No, when I think about, I was thinking about this, literally I was in the shower today and I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, what is it about? It's a little bit of a story time, kids. I remember I used to hang around with one of the gentlemen that was sort of involved with Ontario Ghostbusters, one of the guys that ran the Ontario Ghostbusters. I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't seen him out with them, so I don't know if he just got out of it or whatever. But I remember we were kind of doing stuff, and someone had come up and said, I'm putting a Ghostbuster together. I can't wait to join. And he was very quick to be like, we're not taking new memberships. It was an immediate reaction. I don't know if he even kind of looked over at it. And initially, at the time when I'm standing there, I'm like, okay, I get it. You guys, there's only so much room for actual members, and so many, they only get the one booth and, a rotating membership, but you only have a small, anyways, when you're tied into one specific IP or one specific franchise or whatever, they are, the Doctor Who Society, the 501st, the Mandomarks, the Rebel Legion, pretty much all of them now. There's a clear kind of separation, right? We're doing this, we're part of this organization, and we do this IP, and then you come and you see our stuff and you take pictures with us and we kind of entertain you. But it's very much It's you and it's us. Like, this is kind of how it works. And I feel like, because I've been wondering lately why people sort of end up gravitating towards us. Why did so many people come out to the after party? Why did so many people come, not just come to the booth, but spend the day or just hang out at the booth the whole time? And initially I thought it was like one of those, like we've talked about, like we're just giving wayward cosplayers a place to hang out. But then I realized with us, it's not us and them. It's us and us. Like, we're you and you're us. Like, you're not official members of the Geeks & Co., but we're also not like you just stay back there and take pictures with us with our cool shit and then move on to the next thing. We're bringing you in. We're making you part of it. That's why we do the big meetups. That's why we do the big photo shoots. That's why we have people hanging out at the booths, because that's
why we put on after parties, and that's why
we're not separate from you. You're not card-carrying members of the team that actually puts together the booth and does the actual things, that spends all the time and all the money, but we're still all together. Like, we're still all one big thing. We're not like as, do you know, I know I'm probably explaining it terribly, but that's what I get from it when I watch us interact with people. It doesn't have that level of separation that so many of the other groups seem to have, where it's not that they're not inviting or welcoming. It's not that they're like, they don't have cool set pieces and cool costumes, but it's still like, we're this and you're not, and then we're going to take some cool pictures and have fun, and that's great, but there's still like a difference between us. Whereas with us, it feels like we're all just the same. We're all doing the same shit. We decide what we want to cosplay. We decide what we're going to do, and it doesn't matter. One day we'll do Star Wars, one day we'll do villains, one day we'll do heroes, one day we'll do Marvel. It doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want because we're exactly like you guys. We're just making costumes and having a good time and wanting to interact. So that's kind of how I feel that maybe separates us apart a little bit from all the other different community booths and groups. It's like, we're not there to promote a con. We're not there to promote a specific IP. We're not there. We're there just for the love of the fucking game, just to keep the community.
Yeah, we're there for cosplay.
That's what I mean. So it's interesting that you also don't have your booth ripped off or have the table blocking entry. Well, I mean, yeah, there's that too. Yeah. I don't know. I was trying to think about it the other day, and I'm like, especially with the after party, which I think we should talk to as well. Roped off. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, our podcast has been ripped off a couple times. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. But roped off at the table blocking entry, and you also weren't selling anything and putting it down people's throats. You have music and generate excitement and a good vibe. As saying, Matt. Yeah. I didn't know what it was.
Another thing too. That sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
but
no. I talked long enough
because we're not technically allowed to sell anything. And everybody was selling stuff. Again, the Ghostbusters were selling. They had a whole bunch of stuff on their table that they were selling, right? So I don't really know where that line is of us being actually able to sell stuff and merch and things like that at the con to be able to try to finance this stuff. But at the end of the day, like, you guys are the only ones that really care about supporting us, and you already are, right? So the normies at the con don't want to buy our stuff. They don't want to buy our T-shirts and our hoodies and our. I mean, a lot of people wanted to buy Rob's Optimus Prime helmet, but then they don't understand the amount of time and effort that he put into building that helmet and what he would have to sell it for it to be worth his time, right? To sell it, versus keeping it. So. Yeah, I mean, we don't sell stuff. We're not there to sell stuff. We're not there. Hey, Teresa, how are you?
Yeah, Teresa sneaking in there. So I have a new.
I'm assuming Teresa is now back from holiday. Teresa was like on vacation for like
Egypt.
What, 3 weeks?
I don't know, something. It was.
I don't know. It
dope.
feels like she was out there forever, but yeah, that looked pretty good. She posted a lot of stuff online. Go check it out on her Facebook.
At the end of the day, guys, what I wanted to say too, obviously, thank you for not only, it's not just, it's certainly not on us. Like, you guys we are all together the community. It only works if we're all together the community, and you guys are the community. So yes, would we like to see this grow more than it has? Of course we would. We want to bring this experience to as many people as we possibly can and get as many like-minded geeks in here exploring and loving the geek life and the geek community as much as we all do. But at the same time, without you guys, none of this, we're not having the booth, we're not doing the podcast, like none of this happens without you guys. So it's amazing that you guys are there day in and day out supporting us, buying the merch, checking out the podcast, going to the booth and hanging out, coming out to the photo shoots, like all the things that we've become known for now in the local community. That's amazing. Which, by the way, I'm going to say it now that we're halfway in before we lose anybody. May the 4th is coming up, guys. We're probably about a month and a half away from May the 4th. I've got I do still have vendor space available at the venue.
Hang on, why don't you explain what that means? Because some people may not know what we're planning here this year.
So that's why I want to go over this with you guys on the podcast. We're going to get back to TCC, but now that I've kind of got all of you here, I want to make sure I'm addressing this. So we want to try to run this Star Wars Day like we did last year. Last year, we had Star Wars Day on May the 4th at London Brewing Co-op here in London, Ontario, and it went very, very, very well. This year, we're doing the exact same thing, same partnership. We're going to brew a beer again this year. There is going to be more beer, by the way, guys. There's going to be about 3 times as much beer as there was last year.
Different beer.
It is a different beer again.
New
it's
beer.
A brand new beer that they've never made. Same with last year. They've never made a honey lager. They've never made the beer they're going to make this year. It's exclusive for us for this event. But we are trying to make it almost like a little mini convention. Now, that's kind of where we want to move it to. And in the back area of the place, they have a covered patio that they have set up with vendors beforehand. So vendors to come in. And what they do is they literally just take a picnic table and they turn it sideways. And that's, so you've got like a 2-tiered sort of thing that you set up. So we're going to have vendors. So the vendor booth that you would get, the vendor space, is only $25. That $25, all of it goes all to charity. So the charity that we'll be working with through, so the charity they're working through Dad Club London is the Ronald McDonald House. So if we sell 10 vendor spaces, that's automatically $250. That's going to go directly to the charity. We take none of that money. You have $25 and you pay $25 and the booth space is yours. Sell whatever you want. There's not going to be any restrictions on what you can sell. Our good friend and fellow Geek & Co. member editor Megan is going to have a booth. I've got another person that is also inquired about a booth, and I've got a third person that's inquired about a booth. Now, having said that, Shock Stock is happening here in London on the same weekend, so that is kind of cramping our style a little bit, but I'm putting the call out to you guys. If you're a vendor, if you know somebody that's local or that might be coming to the event that has goods to sell, it's only $25. You probably don't have to, if you're coming to the event anyway and you've got enough to set up a picnic table's worth of vend, you might as well come vend because it probably is not going to take much for you to make your $25 back. And even then, your $25 is going to charity anyway. So please contact me, contact Geeks & Co. Let us know if that's what you want to do. We would appreciate it. We want to fill up those vendor spaces as quickly as we can so we can kind of get that worry off our plate and we can focus on other things that have to do with that particular event. There's going to be bingo. There's going to be trivia again, and I'm working on a third thing that I haven't got a response on yet, but I'm hoping we can make it happen. But yes, I'm not going to spoil it just in case we can't make it work. But we've got one more idea that we're going to do. Yeah. Great idea this year is Top Cosplay. Megan is saying she's excited to vend. Do you get input on what kind of beer? We do.
Well,
yes.
Not really. I mean, the beer itself, we didn't get to pick.
No. Well, you know what? We can't. I can't go to it. We kind of got. Anyways.
Wait. Are you telling me you actually had a choice?
No, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that at the meeting, someone suggested the beer they're going to make, and then the people that make the beer was like, cool, let's do that. And I was kind of sat there going, I guess that's what's happening. Like there wasn't a lot of discussion about it. So unfortunately,
Mike.
Yeah, we all know who it is, but
Mike.
The thing is, they were clear with us too. They were like, we still have commitments through our own channels, through LCBO. Like, they're still like
100%. Yeah.
So they have to be judicious on what they're going to make, and they have to try to decide like what's going to sell, especially that time of year and all that kind of jazz. So I mean, it's not like we were just like freeball, like, woo, let's just do this. So in fact, the first two ideas they came to us with, we were like, no, that sounds terrible. We're not doing that. So there was a little bit of back and forth, but yeah, once this one idea was suggested, they were like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, okay, I guess that's it then. So,
well,
anyways.
Can we say?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, I'm curious who in here even knows what it is, because that's my biggest concern, is that not enough people know what this is, because it's not terribly popular out in the world. So certain parts of the world is kind of popular. But
I'm looking forward to trying it, and I'm hoping if it's anything like the rest of their stuff, I'm hoping it's good, right? Like,
I've yet to have a bad beer from there. It's going to be
that's the thing.
It's going to be a shandy,
a lemon shandy.
Well, all shandies are lemon. So
well, there you go.
Yeah. So if you've had a Radler, it's the same kind of concept, but instead of grapefruit juice, you're getting lemonade. So it's a lemonade beer mix or combo. So it's very refreshing. It's a very spring, summery type drink which going into May, obviously, that's what we're looking to do. So we'd love to come this year. Beck could vend. It's $25, Matt. Just
100%.
Just text me and let me know that that's what you want to do, and I will reserve you a spot. And then probably sometime in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'll start collecting, and I'll forward all the money to them, and they can get it all off to Dad Club, or I'll forward it right to Dad Club. However, we're going to do it, and then And and I'm sure a receipt can be provided, and go from there. So
Collaborative Cosplay is saying if the beer sells out beforehand, I'm not coming.
That's a lie.
That's a lie, but still. I can't imagine the beer selling out beforehand. It is going to be available ahead of time, I think is the idea this year.
Hey, it's the man of the hour, the Tower of Power, Mr. Sean Sullivan.
It is Chewy himself.
He is a girl drink drunk. By the way, excellent Kids in the Hall reference. Love it. He's in.
And
we were your ears, your Chewy, your Wookiee ears must have been burning because we were just praising you about 15 minutes ago.
And
we were
I believe
gushing over you.
Sean told me he'd be coming for May the 4th, or were you?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. He's
telling me you were trying to convince Sean.
I'm trying to convince a lot of that sort of crew.
Yeah. I hope we see Sean.
We'd love
hope
to
you bring your Chewy, but I'm assuming probably not what he's going to be bringing. But
I believe Sean is coming. I believe he can respond to that. I believe he is bringing Chewy. We're trying to get Christina. We're trying to get Lindsay and her Hothleia. We're trying to get Christina to come out. So we would love to get all of our friends that we saw this past weekend, this past Sunday out to make this Star Wars celebration that much bigger and better than it was last year.
And Lindsay's Hothleia is like, that's like a
it's fantastic.
Or a Rebel Legion costume.
I don't know what that is. So is that an organization of some kind? I've never heard of it. It's fantastic. Hopefully we can get Dean to come out too in one of his like amazingly, insanely cool cosplays.
Dean needs to wear his Vader. I've still not seen his. Oh, I hope I didn't spoil anything. Sorry.
No, he's posted his Vader.
Oh, okay,
he's posted
good.
his Vader a million times.
Good.
So you're good. John saying, anyone ever come in a Star Trek cosplay? No, but I encourage.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely,
for Star Wars Day? Friggin' right.
Absolutely encourage this. What time is this going to start on May the 4th? So we haven't quite started.
We should all bring our Star Wars uniforms
I know we should.
Switch midday. That'd be hilarious.
What I would love to do, because I think Mike and I are going to Brewing Co-op, I think it's next week or the week after, to shoot some promo for it. And I would love to have at least one or two where we kind of like walk in our Star Trek uniforms like, oh, clearly this is the wrong place. Or something along those lines. You know what I mean? I think that would be pretty good. Don't tempt me, is say Mike Lycon. But Chris Skilling's asking us, what time is this going to start on May the 4th? So we haven't quite started the marketing campaign yet, but it'll be the same as last year. It will start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The bingo will be at 4, and the trivia will be at 7. And then it will go until we close the place. The place, I think, on Saturdays usually closes around 10:30, 11 o'clock-ish kind of thing, whenever it thins out. So Dean saying, your lack of faith is disturbing. You know what a nice guy Dean is? Dean comes up to me on Sunday as I'm walking around kind of glad-handing people and talking to people and stuff. And Dean's like, what size are you? And I'm like, well, like a large. He's like, what size pants? I'm like, I don't know, like 34 or whatever. He's like, I think I want to loan you my Death Trooper. I think I want to see you in my Death Trooper for CK Expo. So we're both going to CK Expo. Would you wear my Death Trooper? I'm like,
fucking right.
Yes.
Fucking right.
Is this a trick question? Do I want to wear your looks like you walked off the movie set Death Trooper? Yes, in fact, as a matter of fact, yes, Dean, I do. You might find tears of joy on it afterwards when you've taken it off of me, but crazy town. I'll be there for May the 4th. Lacey, thank you so much. We'd love to see you and Jeff there. That would be amazing. Hoping to get my first cosplay Star Wars cosplay done for this. Yes, please. And this is our friend Stephanie, who I've been trying to convince to come out and vend as well. Guys, even if you don't want to or you can't vend, we still want you to come out. We still want you to come out and have a good time. We had a blast last year. Last year was a Thursday night, and we still got wrecked, and it was still really fun.
Well, we were all off on Friday, right? So
yes, that's true. Yeah, but we were all hungover as shit on Friday too. It was a good time. It was a good time. There was a lot of people that showed up. Think the Geeks That Go after party, but
times like on steroid, all in costume. Like it was dope. No, we had a good time.
Very good. And that was the first one, guys. We kind of didn't really know what we were doing yet, like how this was going to work. So now that we have a better grasp on how it looks and what's going to happen and the layout and stuff, then Jeff and I want to talk to you guys soon. We have a special question, but we'll wait till May the 4th.
Okay.
Shoot me a message, Lacey. Whatever, we can talk for sure. Marcy saying Paul, Reese, and I will be there. Awesome.
Jeff will walk you down the aisle. No problem.
Absolutely. I'm happy to walk you down the aisle and give you a
Captain Daddy will take care of you.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so before we're 50 minutes in and we haven't talked about the after party. I know we've been all over the place in this podcast, guys. I'm so sorry. It is the wrap-up show for TCC. We have to talk about the after party. You guys, unbelievable how many people ended up showing up to that after party. Way, way more than any of us thought were going to show up to that after party. What is the conservative? How many people actually do you think ended up showing up to that after party at one point or another?
We had to have been at least 80 to 100.
It was
at least.
But they had given us this entire section that they had roped off that had a bunch of different tables, had some free pinball machines to work. They had given us our own couple of servers, and then we still spilled out into
we doubled the size. Yeah,
tables out past the area. So yeah, it was John and Jen in particular. VIP. Yeah. There were some shenanigans. There were some hassles. Unfortunately, someone couldn't get in, and that caused a bit of a rift. So we've discussed that since then. I apologize, but honestly, the party went so well. Andre saying he lost count at 60. The director Krennic personal security. Yeah, absolutely. Love the after party. Yeah. So for those of you, I haven't posted a picture yet. So those of you that weren't there, Sean Sullivan, so Plaid Vader, Christina, who's Sheer Creations, Michael, which is Michael Icon, as well as Tanith, Loki Quinn, and her daughter, Miley, conspired behind my back and thought they would surprise me with some Captain Daddy merch. There's a video that lovely Miss Jen took. It's the only video she took for the whole night, where I'm standing in the middle of the because I kind of like was playing, I don't know, host or whatever. Like I wasn't really sitting for most of the night. I was like making sure people were settled in and doing their thing or whatever. And suddenly I noticed that Sean's standing to my left, and then Michael's standing behind me, and Christina's standing to my right. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they all grabbed their coats and they went, ready, 1, 2, 3. And I realized just as they did this,
Michael jumped the gun, but
they were doing it. But then they all reveal this.
Captain Daddy t-shirt. Now, I want to point out that not only is it an amazing t-shirt, but Jeff's wearing a crown. We're going to point out, go back, show it again. Jeff's wearing a crown. Now, you can't see it very well in this picture, but this image was actually taken from one of the thumbnails of one of our videos. So it was a real crappy, tiny image. So Sean put it through AI to turn it into like this art piece.
And now I look like I'm 87 years old. It added all of these crags to my already craggy face, and I look so old. Now, thankfully, the resolution still isn't very high, so you can't see it as well on the shirt. On the shirt, it just looks like I have the worst turkey neck that anyone has ever had in the history of turkey necks. But Sean showed me on his phone the actual image that the AI had upscaled, and it's hilarious. I'll try to get him to send me that image, and then I'll share it like on my story or something. Because it literally, it's like one of those apps that ages that you could. What are you going to look like when you're 80? Well, now I know because it's this image is what I look like.
Guys,
and so by the way, the next day on Sunday, when Sean came to the booth, he's like, "Oh, I love the new merch you've got in the booth," and I thought he was talking about the new shield, the new crest.
We had one of those on the wall.
Oh yeah, that's great. And he's pointing and laughing, and I look over, and one of these shirts is hanging up in the fucking booth on Sunday. Like, you dinks. By the way, and people were pointing it out too. They're like, "You love it." Of course I love it. I'm insanely flattered that anybody would ever do anything like this. I just was and still am. I'm blushing thinking about it. It's just very embarrassing to be like thrust to the center of. When I have a microphone in my hand, I have no problem being the center of attention. When other people are like, "Oh no, we're gonna get him," then I get embarrassed, man. I'm sorry. That's how I reacted to it. So, like, I tried to leave, and they had to grab me and drag me back to do this reveal once I figured out what was going on. So, kudos to the 5 people that got in on this, that did this. You guys, I love you to pieces. That's amazing that you would do anything like that at all for any one of us. The fact that you guys did that for me in particular,
If you want yourself, say, a Captain Daddy shirt, make sure you keep an eye on the Geeks & Co. store. I'm going to be talking to Sean and see if we can do something to get some of these T-shirts.
Can you please give him a better image? Can you please give him? I'll
he
put
just
it on.
sent us the picture. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can.
Sean, you son of a bitch.
Hang on.
Can we please, if this is going to be a thing, can we please use a better photo? I will take another picture if I have to.
Oh, where did he?
There are pictures that are better than that one that doesn't have me aged up to look like I'm 107 years old. We got you twice. You got me all right. My work is done here. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God! It's turned you into like those hot toy action figures, like those really detailed statues.
I
That's
feel like
what it's turned you into.
Yeah, I feel like I don't even. If I'm gonna cosplay the Emperor, I don't need a mask. I could just look like that, and that's pretty good. That'll work really, really well. Like that's literally like, what are you gonna look like in 10 years, Jeff? Pretty sure I'm gonna look like that. That's exactly Yeah. Fundraiser, says Nada. I will pay. Want.
I mean, hey, listen, Sean, we gotta talk. Okay, we gotta
make sure Sean gets a nickel every time we sell a shirt because this is all he's doing. So
we gotta quickly talk. We weren't even gonna have an after party. We haven't had an after party in Toronto. We've tried. There's always the situation of anywhere you want to book a spot in Toronto, especially on Comicon weekend. Not only do they want a massive deposit, but they want a minimum spend. Right? They want to guarantee that you're going to spend a certain amount of dollars. And again, when these weekends are 100% out of our pockets, we can't. We
can't take that risk or that.
Right? We can't take that on.
That responsibility.
This is responsibility. Exactly.
We can't take that responsibility.
That was until Megan Avery stepped up to the plate, and she's like, you know what, guys? She's like, I really wanted to be able to help out, and you know, I'd love to be able to do this for you. St. Patrick's weekend to boot.
Yeah.
So everywhere was rammed. So Megan stepped up. She really hooked us up. She booked a place. She paid the deposit. Megan, thank you very, 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 very much. Guys, give her a thank.
Yeah, and to the pint, they gave us a great space. They gave us our own servers. They probably could have given us more than the two they gave us, but those servers ran their asses off. I thought they were pretty great. A couple people were like, it's taking us a while. I'm like, guys, there's two of them. Like, cut them some slack. But they hooked us up with a great spot upstairs, a bunch of free video games and pinball machines to play on. The bathrooms were right there. They had it closed off. They had signs closed for private parties. So, yeah, big props to Meg Han. And then, yeah, to the pint, man. They did a great job. I got to admit, other than that little tiny fiasco we had, everything else went swimmingly, went smashing. The food was good. The drinks were great. I didn't eat. My stomach was really upset that night, so I had one drink, and that's all I could have, unfortunately. But our server was fantastic, a true pro. Yeah, both of them. When I talked to either one of them, they were both. Yeah. And they kept on coming over to check on me, like, are you sure we can't get you anything? I'm like, I was just drinking water. My stomach was in awful shape. I don't know what was happening, but we stuck it out. We had a good time. I think I was there till about 11. I was there quite late. The place had really thinned out by the time I left. So I don't know.
We were there till 11:30.
Yeah. So we couldn't have asked for anything more. And guys, I think now we've sort of set the expectation. It makes sense, right? I think people are right to kind of expect something like this from us. We did the same thing in London Comic-Con. We had a great turnout for that one as well. I'm sure if we're back to London Comic-Con, you're going to see the same thing again this year, maybe even the same venue. We'll probably end up having to spill over into that venue too, because I'm sure this year it'll be even bigger than it was last year. And then we'll see about Fan Expo. If we have a booth at Fan Expo, we'll try to see if we can do the same thing again. This has become the expectation. And again, because you guys are so supportive and you guys are coming out for this, that's why we like to do it. If we'd have done this after party and 10 people that showed up would be like, well, this was a good idea, but we're not doing this again.
Yeah.
But 100 people showed up. So
I even had people tell me that they turned around because they heard there was no room.
Oh, really?
That they heard that there was limited space and there wasn't going to be room to sit down. So they turned around and and I was like, you should have just messaged me, right? But
yeah, there's all the Doritos and meat sticks and M&Ms. Yeah.
Yeah. So for sure, again, without you guys, we don't do any of these things, right?
No.
This is kind of
your
the point.
Support is the key.
Yeah.
Like you all came out for this. You all spent money. You all got drinks. You all got snacks. I'm assuming we hit the minimum spend. I don't know how we wouldn't have with the amount of people we had come through there. So
we hit the minimum spend like an hour and a half in or 2 hours in. That's kind
of what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because I asked
kudos.
at one point the server, because people were starting to spill out to other tables, and I was like, "Hey, like, is this all going to go against our minimum spending?" He's like, "We already passed that." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah. This is the confrontation I had with a couple of that was not at the after party. I drank so much water, but at the con, I went to take a drink and I got a Pepsi Zero, whatever, and Meghan and Victoria were giving me shit for not drinking. They're like, "Drink water, Jeff." I'm like, this has water in it. But without you guys, we wouldn't know so many amazing people. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that we get to be the catalyst for that too. That a lot of you kind of get to meet other people in the community that are like-minded and have a passion. I mean, that's what the conventions are for in the first place. It's just we're like on a smaller scale, right? And that's why I think we so much want to. Same with Stella, I assume. Yes, correct. There's water in it. Look at the ingredients list. The number one ingredients water.
Yeah. That's kind of why we want to grow May the 4th, right?
Yeah.
Because for same reason, the more we can turn that into an event, the more people are going to want to come and hang out, right?
Yes, and the more 6 degrees of separation we get, the more we can introduce people to do stuff. And then the next time we do, like someone mentioned a monthly meetup. The problem with the monthly meetup is we keep saying local, but we're not. Like it is. Toronto's kind of nice because it's sort of in the middle for a lot of us, but there's like they're in Oshawa, just outside of Oshawa. I'm in London. We have people in Kitchener. We have people in Waterloo. We have we're not all in the same spots, so it makes a monthly meetup difficult.
It does,
thing. And I feel like too we have to be careful not to take some of the magic out of it. Like if we're meeting up all the time, then it's going to kind of become old hat. It's one of those like absence kind of makes the heart grow fonder a little bit. As much as I would love to see all of your lovely faces every month, I think it's kind of cool that it's like 3 to 4 times a year because it makes those 3 to 4 times a year a much more significant special event.
Yeah, fair enough.
So now, having said that, if someone wanted to organize, like we're doing with May the 4th, if someone wanted to organize something like we do with the Cosmos in the district, right? Like we do still do some stuff outside of cons that we're trying to get as much of the faithful together as possible. But if someone had a specific event they wanted to do at a time in between cons or whatever, like sometime in July or whatever,
let us know.
We want to do this. Yeah, by all means. It's not like we just turn it away whatever. I don't think a monthly thing would work out very well, but I think like an extra event in the middle of the season to get everybody together, I don't see that being a problem necessarily. So if you have an idea, we want to hear it.
Hey, guys, Toronto Comicon got some new lanyards this year. Actually, last year
they came around our booth. They were like, "You guys have just got the regular lanyards? No, that won't do."
No, but that was Alex. So Alex is in the chat usually. Yeah. I didn't see him tonight, but Alex, if you watch us after the fact, dude, thank you so much. He came by and gave us all some lanyards.
Yeah.
Now they had the cool graphic lanyards last year, but these new ones actually have.
Yes.
I forget what you called it. It's not a carabiner, but
it's a parachute clip.
Parachute clip. Meghan says, "I got Joker." Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of really cool ones. There was a Deadpool one.
I got Deadpool.
There was. I forget. There were so many of them.
Dude.
When Alex I saw the Star
came to our
Trek
booth
one,
so many times to check in on us, to have a conversation with us, to let us know we were doing great. Like Alex was fantastic. Yeah.
Well, he was working customer service to boot, right? So that was awesome. That was
Alex was
really
dope.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really
overall. Nice. Again, like we talked about, guys. I think it was a success, and I think it was the whole endeavor was a success, mostly thanks to you guys. So thank you guys for coming out and supporting everything that we did over the weekend, the meetups in particular, the after party in particular, the booths in particular. Like
dude,
Natasha
every single
Andrew
day at the booth, every single day we had a dance party going on.
Yes.
One day, a friggin' Backstreet Boys song broke out, and everybody was singing and dancing to the point where the Doctor Who Society guys were singing in the microphone with us. We blocked the alley completely for people like just freaking out and singing and taking pictures. Every single day we've had moments like that. And for me, that's what makes those events.
It's supposed to be fun. Like no slight to our other booth mates and everything else that were doing stuff, but watching some of them just stand there grumpily in their costumes and just taking pictures and clearly like not engaging because they like have to stay in character because of contracts with Lucas or whatever. Guys, man, don't suck all the fun out of it. We're there to have a good time. It's a giant fucking party. We're all like-minded individuals. We're all just there to celebrate the fandom. So let's actually celebrate and have a good time. If you're not having a good time, if you're treating it like work, then what the fuck are you doing? You're in the wrong business, Jack. This is not what this is supposed to be. We're supposed to be there to have fun and to bring that fun to other people so that they're having fun. They can see when you're not into it. They get it. They're feeding off your energy. So if your energy is dog shit, you're affecting them too. Your energy has to bring them up, and that's what's going to get them coming back and enjoying their time there. If you can't have a Backstreet Boys dance party at your booth, you're doing it wrong. I'm not saying you have to have music, but you can't just be a grumpy Gus and stand there. Do you know how many times, as again, I don't mean to keep picking on them, I swear to you, but when Michael and I were standing at the booth, he's in his Scout Trooper, and I'm in Christina's Stormtrooper, and we're dancing, and our helmets are off, and we're singing, and we're goofing around, we're having a good time, and there's at least two guys in their button-down 501st Shirts booth over there 12 feet away, pointing at us and looking really angry and talking to each other like, look at these guys, these assholes in their clearly like approved costumes carrying on like this. And I'm like, brother, we're having a good time. And everybody that's coming up to us in like at one point when we were dancing, people were coming up and filming us dancing in these Stormtrooper and Scout Trooper outfits because we were having a good time and people were enjoying it.
We have a lot of video.
Not calling me out, says John. No, at one point we did have a bit of a wellness check for John. There was a time, I don't remember if it was on Friday or Saturday, he was looking a little bit grumpy. We were like, John, you okay? And he kind of stopped. He's like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm like, all right, we're just making sure. We know we're a lot to be right beside, so I hope you're okay. And he said he was okay, but he still kind of had a look on his face like, get me the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. So, John, we were thinking about you. We love you. We hope you're okay. You are the VIP of our hearts. There's no question there. You're number 96 in the program, but you're number 1 in our hearts.
I mean, I think it goes without saying. We are a lot. We're animated. We're having a good time. We're stressed out. We're happy. Especially me and you. Well, even Rob. Like when we're in costume and we're trying to do things, and we're all over the place. Without Jen and Jamie there this weekend, I don't know that a booth like this can happen. Let's be honest.
No, it can't.
We had a lot of help.
Yes.
Andrew Saxon helped out. Natasha helped out. Natasha was hilarious, man. She did the make way coming through for us.
I know.
On Saturday, that was friggin' hilarious.
But even Friday, like Nat and Natasha and Andrew just hanging out at the booth the entire day with us in their dope-ass DC costumes that went with what we were doing. And then same with Becca and Matt in their Marvin the Martian and Captain Cass. Like they were at the booth with us the whole time. Like the whole day that they came in, they pretty much just hung out at the booth
and
with us.
And all the Star Wars people on Sunday, right?
And like all the Star Wars people come. Like Michael Icon was there, and Christina, and
Christina and her ape from Planet of the Apes on Saturday.
Bonkers.
That was amazing as well.
So good.
Everybody. I mean, I know we're forgetting people. Everybody.
No. Tannis came to the booth for a while. She was there. Yeah, Chantel and Nada were there for the booth for a while. So
like there was
so many, and then obviously Megan was at the booth for quite some time on Sunday. In particular,
we had a lot of people come by, and it was amazing for you guys to come and hang out and represent. But again, Jen and Jamie need to know that without them, we don't do these, especially Jen. Jen is responsible. If I'm too much, go find less. There you go.
Yep.
Jen is responsible for all the logistics behind everything we do. She gets us in our suits, literally. Like she's the one that has to deal with
not
our grumpy asses. Well, me and Rob, when we're hungover trying to get into her stupid Predator suits, she's the one that has to deal with our grumpy asses. So yes, Jen, thank you, but Jamie, I mean, come on, Jamie's a champ.
Yeah, runs the booth. Yeah, essentially runs the booth.
Yeah,
she was there getting everything set up on Friday when I got there. She was the one that's like selling stuff. Any of the financials that happened at the booth with the snacks and the charity stuff, the donations and the gear and stuff, that's all handled by Jamie. When we have to fuck off and go do like our photo shoots and stuff, Jamie stays at the booth to handle the booth duties. Yeah, no, it's without those two, we are nothing. We can't do any of this. It would just be 3 grumpy middle-aged guys looking at an empty space on the floor going, well, now what? So, yeah, none of this happens without them, for sure. We were missing both editor Megan and Teresa this time out. Teresa, unfortunately, we're not going to have for the season, for the year. She's taking care of some stuff at home, and we support her for that fully. Editor Megan,
we miss you.
Other commitments.
If she's still here, if you're still here, Teresa, we miss you. But
we miss Teresa so much.
It. Yeah.
And we miss editor Megan too. She couldn't come out. She was moving,
100%.
So she had just too much on her plate. Ideally, we do get a booth.
Well,
for
is she moved now?
I believe they're moved. I think they're still kind of in the midst of. I think it's taking them a little while. So, although there's just too much going on with her. That's why we didn't really see any of that Kitchener crew come out, except for our good friends Alicia and Robbie. They were both there. They came over to the booth a bunch of times too to say hi. So that was great.
Robbie got a new Captain America suit. That was
Robbie
cool.
got a new Captain America. It was dope as shit. Christina also got herself a new Captain America suit that she wore on Friday, and it was dope as hell as well.
Yeah, was that like the? It wasn't the U.S. agent suit, but it wasn't the regular Captain America suit.
No, I think it was. Yeah,
it?
She's got some pictures up on her account. So
I'll have to go look them up again. I got a bunch of pictures with her as well.
Exact. See, Dean gets it. Like Dean. I feel like, hey, I get looks from my guys when I dance in costume. F them. I try to get them to join in. Backstreet Boys, I can't not dance. Exactly, man. Dean understands. Yeah, Christina's captain suit is next level. Yeah, no, I agree. We have to have like a cap meetup. We have to have like a cap day where all of us that have caps, Crazy Mike's got one, Christina's got one, I've got one, Robbie's got one. Like everybody, if you've got a Captain America suit, you gotta let us know. We'll have.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mike has his World War I cap.
Yeah, we'll have to have a big cap off.
Yeah,
one day for sure.
That'd be funny if we did a Marvel Day one day and you would all show up in Captain America.
We're all caps. Yeah.
That'd be
I had
good.
a blast. Sunday dance parties ruled. Mini Vader and I Maul had a little dance. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's Richard, guys, that we were talking about. His Darth Maul on Sunday was outstanding. So goddamn.
It always is. His Maul is one of the best.
I mean, all of his stuff is great. Yep. No question. So guys, the vibes were great. It was a blast all weekend long.
The layout was great. The vibes were great. The tunes were great. The people were great.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Vanito, hey, bud. Ian and I are watching you guys now. We were in the garage. Come out for a drink. There you go.
What's up, guys? What's up? Yeah, my buddy Vaughn and Ian.
Vaughn.
Yeah. Guys, if you haven't seen some of our episodes of Vaughn's Collectibles, go check them out. Available on the Geeks Go YouTube channel right now. Jamie says, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I was added to the playlist while you, buddy Rob, was distracted. We had so much fun. Yeah, listen. We had a lot of great music, and yes, having everybody being able to add to the playlist at will was fantastic. And I mean, I don't know that I've danced and sang that much in a long time.
We had Crazy Mike. Crazy Mike came out on Saturday in his Killer Shark, and it's crazy. Like that costume is bonkers, and so we did play a little bit of Baby Shark for him. So Jeff requested Baby Shark, who knew it'd be such a hit. Yeah, it was. That was for Crazy Mike and for Crazy Mike only, and he leaned into it at that point. When he first put the costume together, he got a lot of Baby Shark stuff, and I kind of feel bad because I felt bad at the time because he put a lot of time and money and effort into that costume, and he was very proud of it.
Fantastic.
And everybody's just getting like Baby Shark, and I'm like, guys, like give him, like let him. But now that he's had it for a while and he's worn it a bunch, he's like, now we've kind of like come to accept, like, yeah, sure, we'll lean into the Baby Shark thing right now and then. So we played the song and people danced, and it was super fun. So that was good. You know, you got to be able to poke a little bit of fun at yourself. So clearly, since I'm wearing my own fucking shirt.
What else did you want to talk about from the weekend? Was there anything else you wanted to cover?
I don't think so. I think, moving forward, I think it's probably going to be. You guys have probably noticed some commonality in the photo shoots that we're choosing, the theme days that we're choosing, and a lot of that is based on the available cosplays that we all have together, so that we can all sort of participate. In particular, the big three: me, JS, and Rob. So it's not as though we're wanting to do Star Wars and DC and villains every single time we go out, but that's kind of what we have. So ideally, yes. So ideally, as we go through, we will be able to build up some more stuff. Like I think we're a Rob away from being able to do a strictly Trek day. We did a Trek day anyway. Rob just didn't participate, but we can. There's other things that we can sort of move towards. If these guys ever get their new thing that's going to be done, then perhaps that can then piggyback into a different style of day that we can have too. So, so keep your eyes peeled for that kind of stuff. It won't always be the same sort of 3 themes. We're trying to mix things up a little bit. And then, obviously come on out for Star Trek.
But I mean, obviously we want to keep the themes like wide enough.
Yes,
include
broad, 100%.
Broad enough. Thank you to include as many people as possible, right?
Yes, no, I agree.
I mean, obviously, everybody can wear whatever they want. It's fantastic when everybody joins in on the theme, right? I mean, it makes it that much better when everybody matches. Midlife Cosplay says, "Love Trek Day." Yeah, I mean, because his Borg. I mean, let's be honest,
we had a great time on the Trek Day that we had. I just feel bad because I know Rob doesn't have one. Now, again, it's a shirt. It's like I'm sure we could get Rob into a Trek. I don't think it would be that big a deal. I know he's not really a big fan, but I don't think it would be hard to do. Disney Day, Disney Princess Day. I'd rather be staked out naked on an anthill covered in honey. But I mean, you guys do you. I'll do whatever.
I mean, if we want to do it as a joke, and there's somebody that's willing to lend me a dress that'll fit me, I mean, I'll wear it. But
could you please not do that? I will pay you guys.
I mean, I'm not buying a princess dress.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Please don't do that. Have you talked about the Jeff shirt? Yes, Jamie, we talked.
Yes,
about
we did. We did. He's wearing it.
I'm wearing it, so I could tell the story and you could see the.
Yes.
Yeah, please don't. Nobody lend him a dress that will fit him. I'll do whatever it takes. Don't.
Yeah, there you go. See, John has a good point.
I don't need that nightmare fuel. Leia is a Disney princess. Yes,
so Star Wars Day is technically a Disney Day.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're the dwarves. I mean,
Horror Day would be fun again.
Yeah. Horror would be great. I would love to do a Lord of the Rings Day. Obviously, Christina's got her Nazgul. I've got a Boromir. Crazy Mike's got a Faramir. I would love for us to do an LOTR day. So, like keep your eyes peeled. And sometimes too, we'll try to make it so because the boys are going to do their Predators probably on the Saturday until the end of time. So those are days where we can kind of, Hutslayer Leia Day. Yeah, exactly. Victoria Brown. I'm pretty sure if we decide we're going to do a Hutslayer Leia Day, they're going to call us perverts. And they'd probably be right. I don't think we could just have, hey, we want every single girl in the place to show up in a gold bikini. Yeah. Somehow I think there'd probably be more photographers than cosplayers that day, if you know what I mean. So we'll probably kind of avoid that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there are things that we can explore. So if you have specific themes that you think we could explore and work, especially themes that maybe we could run on Saturday, if the lads don't have something that goes with that. Like I've got 30 cosplays and they've got 3, so we kind of have to try to find stuff that we can kind of match up with, so that no one's getting left out. So a lot of the time Saturday is a good day for that because they're going to do their Predators anyway and they're going to slay. So then we can kind of all do something that kind of goes, but it doesn't have to like be that specific thing. So. Crazy Mike could be Doppy. What's a Doppy?
Dope. Oh,
I'm sure she's probably trying to say Dopey, but I don't know who Doppy is. Yeah, LOTR Day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be against the Lord of the Rings Day.
There you go.
We had an idea.
He'll do it. He said.
Yeah, we had an idea a couple of years ago where we wanted to do a group Nazgul. I think I just talked about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you and I, you'd actually message me like, would you want to get in on this? And I was like, I would probably do that depending on the price.
Yeah, well, and that was the problem, right? Is we couldn't make it work for it to make sense and be affordable enough to have 9 people want to join in. We couldn't find what we needed, right? So we never did it. But I would be up for something like that. If somebody said we're doing a group Nazgul thing that we can. Do over, because can you imagine breaking into friggin' Penn Expo as 9 Nazgul?
Well, if we do an LOTR day, that just means you've got to recruit a few more Nazgul. I mean, I'm sure Christina will be good to lead you guys, and then you just have
for sure
Nazgul in behind her, and then the rest of us in our LOTR stuff. I think that would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Lindsay would love it. She loves doing Arwen. That's like her favorite fictional character of all time. Like I said, I've got Boromir. Crazy Mike's got Faramir. Like
That's got and people she has a good Arwen.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got people to fill those ranks out. I think we could probably make a really good LOTR day for sure. But Sci-Fi Day.
I don't know who first came up with it, if it was Matt or Andre or whoever, but I think Andre said it first. The Sci-Fi Day could cover a lot of ground. That's a good point. And Matt is saying here, Sci-Fi Day would be cool for photo crossovers.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be funny to be able to have some Star Trek versus Star Wars pictures, right? Or whatever it is.
And then Doctor Who and Red Dwarf.
Doctor Who.
Like whatever you're doing, right? Like it's all sci-fi. And I think we should do it on a Friday. We should call it Sci Friday. We had an idea to do that. Friday. Was it last year at Toronto Comic-Con? We kind of thought that's what we do, and then we just kind of transitioned to Trek anyways. But Sci Friday could work, guys. So keep that in mind as well. Hey, man, we've been on for an hour and 20 minutes for on
we
this.
We have.
We should probably start wrapping this one up.
We could probably talk about it for hours more. Right. Actually, like I was saying at the top of the show, next week we're going to talk some more about Comicon.
Oh, yeah,
shit. For the point of view, what's that?
Andrew also has a Gandalf, and his Gandalf is like crazy.
His Gandalf is really good.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
guys, we're doing an LOTR.
We should do a Lord of the Rings Day.
We gotta do that.
We should do a Lord of the Rings Day. We need to start thinking about doing a Game of Thrones thing too, because there's going to be a new season of Game of Thrones coming out. So that could be something that people would be into as well.
Yep.
For Fan Expo.
I got to bed and order pizza. Yeah, I got to get to bed. I'm dying for sure.
Yeah, guys, next week we're going to do more talking about Comic-Con. We're going to be talking with Jeff from North Haven Creative. You've seen Jeff this weekend. He was all over the place. He had a camera rig. He had all sorts of stuff going on. He was live streaming. He was taking pictures. He was taking video. So Jeff and our buddy Wayne. Wayne's been wanting to get on this podcast for a while now. So we're going to get Jeff and Wayne around on the podcast, talk about the con from their experience. I'm really interested in getting the insight of when you go to take pictures. We go to dress up and have people take pictures of us, but when you go with the intent of shooting pictures and content, I'm interested in seeing what goes through their heads and how they view the con.
Agreed. Yep.
So that'll be next week.
Episode. Yep.
Beyond that, guys, like I think I say it every week. If you want to help support the channel, there's an easy thing you can do. You can click that like and subscribe button. If you want to help us support more, check out our store. Go to our Instagram. There's a link in the bio. It'll bring you right over to www.geeksandcompany.ca. First link at the top is our store. So you can buy some merch there. Andrew Saxon saying stay geeky, a.k.a. take responsibility. I can't even say it anymore.
Responsibility. It's never going away with their responsibility. And there's Victoria with her melons.
Yeah, the melons have been censored on my side. I think they said no more melons. We're done.
No, I'm seeing her melons. That sounds so tragically wrong. She's so young. I'm so sorry, everybody. I
see, they're just squares.
Yeah. No, I'm seeing her melons. Yeah,
interesting.
Guys, it's been great.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week, and
make sure you stay geeky, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Geek Boutique Podcast. Like always, if you prefer to listen to us, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. Now, make sure you don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to make sure you never miss anything. Buddy?
There we have it. Wow. That was great. We were all over the place, but that was great.
25 people right up until the end. Like, right at the end.
We did break 30, actually, at one point.
Did we really?
It does still say live and recording, by the way.
Oh, what's up, everybody? I don't understand why it does that. We're still live. This is a great show. You know what I'm thinking? No, but listen to this. And if there are still people actually watching, I wanna know if you guys are into this. I want to start recording these before and after chats that me and you have, because sometimes we get into full blown conversations.
That's true,
and we can make those available to people. So
now they talk
shit. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly what this happens.
Guys,
this is the after dark. This is the premium. This is the Patreon right here.
Yeah, let us know if that's something that you would actually be in for an after show. Exactly. Yeah, I think that could be cool.
Is this an encore?
No,
it's not an encore.